Okay, welcome again to the ancient tales for today. This will be lesson number 6, blaming somebody else, 责怪别人. But before we do that, I should bring you up to date. Where have we come from? A very old book talks about the beginning of beginnings. And in the last lesson, we looked at what went wrong. 到底发生什么事? What went wrong? Okay? And we looked at the story. You can actually check it out in the beginning part of this book. But for now, we got to turn our minds to the results of that. A lot of bad things resulted when the relationship with God broke down. So stick with us as we look at today's interesting lesson.
Story 6. Blaming somebody else. When something goes wrong, what do we usually do? We decide whose fault it was and blame them. We want to make sure to blame others so people don't think it was our fault. It wasn't me who stole the money. The accident wasn't my fault. I didn't commit the crime. Somebody else is to blame. That's what we say. It's very sad. Such thinking goes right back to our very beginnings. One of the very first things Adam and Eve did after they rejected God and chose the devil's way was to blame somebody else. Adam said, "It was the woman you made for me that gave me the fruit to eat." In other words, the woman was to blame. In fact, Adam said it was the Creator's fault because he made the woman in the first place. Eve said, "The serpent fooled me. That's why I ate it." In other words, it wasn't my fault. The serpent was the one to blame. Blaming others, we all do it, and it proves we don't want to take responsibility for what we do. We say that anything bad that happens is because of someone else. We blame other people. We blame society. We blame our background. Whatever, it's not our fault. So we start lying to cover ourselves. We are not honest. We are not speaking the truth. Even though we know we are to blame, we cannot accept that. How very sad that we try to rewrite reality to make it what we want it to be. It's time to be honest. Time to be truthful to other people and to ourselves. Time to admit when we do wrong. Time to ask for forgiveness and to try and make it right. Honesty is the best policy. Why? Because it is the only way to live a life that is true.
Okay, now we're talking about blaming others. Blaming somebody else. Blaming 是责怪. Okay? Somebody else, 别人. Okay? And this is the first, I call it result or consequence. 这个后果, consequence. Now, our lesson begins by saying this. When something goes wrong, okay? 当一件事情不很顺的时候 or 发出事情的时候 Okay? What do we usually do? Now, this is very interesting because today's lesson is about you and me. Who, me? Yes, even me. We decide whose fault it was. Okay? 错到底是谁的? And we blame them. 就责怪他们. Okay? We want to make sure to blame others. We want to make sure. 我们要肯定是怪别人. Okay? Why? So people will not believe that it's our fault. 人不会相信是我们的错. You see? Hey, it's somebody else's. Sometimes we blame the weather or other things too, not just people. Okay? It wasn't me who stole the money. 不是我偷这个钱. 不是我偷这个钱. The accident is not my fault. 这个意外不是我的错. Okay? Do these sound like things that we could say? I didn't commit the crime. 我没有犯罪. Crime. Commit a crime 就是犯罪. Okay? Okay? I didn't commit the crime. Somebody else is to blame. 这是别人的问题，不是我啦. That's what we say. Oh, it gets a little bit more complicated. 会更加复杂一点点. 这个是我们平常说的. Going on. It's very sad. 这个令人很悲伤的. Such thinking goes back to the very beginnings, our very beginnings. And when we're talking about beginnings, we're talking about the beginnings of time. We're talking about the beginnings of this world. We're talking about when Adam and Eve, the first man and the first woman, were created. 他们被创造的时候. One of the very first things that Adam and Eve did after they rejected God, 他们拒绝上帝，不听他的话，不信任他的。他们头一件事情之一 one of the very first things that they did, and when they rejected God and chose the devil's way, 就选择这个魔鬼的路。他们所做的是什么？ was to blame somebody else， 就是要责怪别人，责怪其他的人。Adam said, of course, Adam said, it was the woman you made for me that gave me the fruit to eat. Hey, don't look at me. Hey, you created the woman, not me. Hey, don't blame me. Okay? It's the woman's fault. 他就责怪上帝. And he said, furthermore, so who is he blaming? Well, he's blaming God and he's blaming Eve. Eve gave me the fruit. 他责怪这个夏娃Eve. 他也是责怪. He is also blaming God because he created Eve. Hey, 你创造他. Hey, don't blame me. Okay? In other words, the woman is to blame. And she's blamed, she's the fault. 他在这个地方 blame 就是他错就是在他。But of course he's blaming God because 他就说如果你不创造他，我就没事 ，right? You see how we are, how we do this? In fact, as we go on, we say, Adam said it was the Creator's fault. 他责怪上帝 because he made the woman in the first place. Okay, now it's Eve's turn. 轮到 Eve. Okay? Eve said, the serpent fooled me. The serpent fooled me. 迷惑我. And sometimes you say fool, so 骗我. 迷惑我. To fool. Okay? That's why I ate it. 那我就吃这个果树，就是因为它迷惑我。In other words, it's not my fault. 你不要责怪我，没有我的错。The serpent is to blame. 你要怪这个蛇。The serpent was to blame. 就是要怪他。We do this all the time. Okay? Blaming others. We do it, and it proves that we don't want to take responsibility for what we do. 我们不愿意，就是因为我们所做的事，我们不愿意负责任。We are not responsible for what we do. We don't want to do it. Going on? We say that anything bad happens because of someone else. 这是他人的问题，别人的问题， not our problem. See, this is very common. Well, we'll take it up after the break, but we're going to take a little break right now. We'll be back in just a few moments.
艾老师，这个故事是说到，人很喜欢推卸责任，就是责备别人。那你想，圣经里面是不是也有说到人有这样的毛病呢？
That's right. If we look at Matthew 7:3-5, it says this, Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, Let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye.
这一些很有意思，我来读中文的。马太福音第7章第3节到第5节，这里说：为什么看见你弟兄眼中有刺，却不想自己眼中有梁木呢？你自己眼中有梁木，怎能对你的弟兄说，容我去掉你眼中的刺呢？你这假冒为善的人，先去掉自己眼中的梁木，然后才能看得清楚，去掉你弟兄眼中的刺。
Well, thank you. We're going to stop right here. This was just a little more light on our path.
Okay, now we're continuing on where we left off. Remember the last time we said, we say that anything bad that happens is because of someone else. 责怪别人, okay? We blame other people. Sometimes we blame society, 社会, okay? We blame, or we blame the culture, 社会. We blame, 责怪我们的背景, okay? Whatever, it's not my fault. Hey, take it easy. Don't blame me. It's not my fault. Okay? This is the reality of life. Blaming others. So we start lying to cover ourselves. Okay? We start lying. 我们就开始说谎. Okay, what does it mean to cover ourselves? 我们遮盖自己. 遮盖自己 means that we try to cover up so people don't really know what the reason is. Of course, no problem. I didn't do anything wrong. It was, does that sound common? Oh, yes, very common. We are not honest. We are not, 我们不是老老实实的, okay? We are not speaking the truth. 我们也不是我们不说这个真相的事. Okay? Even though we know we are to blame, say, 连我们知道这个应该是责怪自己. Even though we know we are to blame, we cannot accept that. 我们就不愿意接受这些了. We're not willing to accept that. How very sad, 这令人很悲伤的，很难过的. We try to rewrite reality. Okay, 我们要重写现实 reality, 现实. So we try to rewrite reality and to say something that really isn't so. It really did not happen that way. We make it 就使这个情况it 这个情况 what we want it to be 变成我们所想要的事情. So let me read that last sentence one more time. Even though we know we are to blame, we cannot accept that. 不愿意接受. How very sad. We are trying to rewrite reality. Okay? And so we come down to the end, and we come to the fact that Adam blamed Eve and also blamed God. Eve blamed the serpent and blamed God. They were not willing to be responsible. 他们不愿意因为他们的行为而负责任. They were not being responsible for their behavior. Okay, it's time to be honest. 时候已经到了，我们应该诚实，我们应该老老实实. Okay? It's time to be truthful to other peoples. When it says be truthful to other peoples means to tell the truth. 要说这个真相，这个真理，真实的话. Okay? Be truthful to other people. That means in our relationships. 我们不骗人，不说谎. Okay? And to ourselves. 而且是对自己. Let's not deceive ourselves. 不要骗自己. Okay? It's time to admit that we are wrong. 时候已经到了，应该承认. Admit. That's a good word, isn't it? To admit when we do wrong. In Chinese, I hear people say, 下不了台. That means they are not willing to admit, 不愿意承认. They don't know how to do this. It's time to ask for forgiveness. 这逼时候到了，我们应该求宽恕，别人饶恕我们 ，okay? And try to make it right. And that's an interesting word. To try to make something right. What does it mean to try? That means to 纠正. Another means you've done something wrong. Now you've got to fix things up, 纠正, and solve the problem so that it's better. Okay? And then there's a very famous word there in that last line. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty, 诚实,老实, is the best policy. What is a policy? A policy, is that 政策? But in this case, policy really means it is the best 做法, the best 做法. Honesty is the best policy. Always be honest in everything that we do and say. Now that's a challenge, isn't it? 这个是一个相当大的一个挑战. It's a big challenge to be honest in everything. And the last line it says, because this is the only way, 唯一生活的方式, that is true, 是真正的生活. This is the best way to live. Honesty, 老实, is the best policy. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our lesson so far. We'll be back in a few minutes to conclude everything. But for now, stay by because we have something else to share.
艾老师，我发现一个字我很难发音的，这个怎么说？迷惑了我是怎么说 ？Fooled me?
Oh, that sounds pretty good, Lena. Fooled me. That's a hard one for Chinese to say. 迷惑了我, or sometimes you can say even 骗了我, deceived me, fooled me.
捉弄我可以吗？
I guess so. My Chinese is not that good. Okay. The next one is, well, society.
Society.
Yeah, that sounded good. Society is 社会.
对，
社会。
我们常常有一些事情说社会的错，全都是别人的错，不是我的错，
Yeah,
对吧？
yeah, that's true. Okay, and then the last one we're going to look at is reality. Can you say that?
Okay, let me try. Reality.
That's not bad. Reality.
Reality.
Yeah. 现实. You know, sometimes in Chinese, we say 不大愿意面对现实. Right. So this is, of course, a human problem. We don't want to face the facts. So what is reality? 面对现实.
那我想人不喜欢负责任，也是不要面对现实。
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Lena.
Okay, now we're down to the end of our program. So, what did we learn today? Probably it was like standing in front of a mirror. We looked at ourselves. Of course, we looked at Adam and Eve, and we learned that they blamed God. They blamed, Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the snake, the serpent. But the blame game 是一种游戏 blaming others, 责怪别人 is a way of not being responsible. 我们不负责任. So, to me, the best policy is to be honest. In fact, we even ended the lesson by saying honesty is the best policy. Okay? It is the best policy. The best way to do things is to be honest. And not to blame others, not to blame the weather, not to blame, I had a bad breakfast. So, no, we're not going to blame anything. We will accept the responsibility for everything. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our lesson and that you will come back for another tale from one of the oldest books around. This book's been around a long, long time. 古今今谈. And we'll share some more with you the next time we come together.
That's all for today, and thanks for watching. If you like Ancient Tales for Today, please visit atft.chinesehope.tv. You may also contact us by writing to ancienttalesfortoday@gmail.com. Again, that's ancienttalesfortoday@gmail.com. Tell your friends about Ancient Tales for Today. See you next time.